Hi, I'm Kirby.
I'm Dana.
And we are
Migratory Nerds. It's time for our latest adventure. Let's get exploring.
Part 2 of our Portland, Oregon adventure finds us at Washington Park, which is Oregon's premier park, home to a rich variety of cultural institutions and attractions like the Oregon Zoo, the Portland Japanese Garden, the International Rose Test Garden, and many more. Washington Park is accessible via Portland's public transit system. You can either take the Tri-Met Max Light Rail, the red or the blue lines, or there is a bus with select hours, that's line 63, which drops off by the International Rose Test Garden and the Portland Japanese Garden. Once you get to Washington Park, there is a free shuttle loop to access and explore all of the different park's destinations. It runs every 15 to 30 minutes depending on the season. This is the light rail stop, which is located by the Portland Zoo, but again, once you took the light rail to the Portland Zoo, you could take the shuttle to anywhere you wanted to go specifically within Washington Park to avoid the hassle of trying to find a parking spot and having to pay for parking. Our first stop at Washington Park was the International Rose Test Garden, which has over 10,000 rose bushes and is the oldest continuously operating public rose test garden in the United States. The International Rose Test Garden was founded in 1917. With the primary purpose of the garden to serve as a testing ground for new rose varieties. About 10 to 20 varieties are replaced each year, with some of the best new roses being released into the market. I don't know if the color comes across, but these are so red.
These are called Sunset Horizon.
It's too bad y'all don't have smell-o-vision, because these are delightful. Dana's hand is there for size reference. Look how gigantic this is.
It's called Lasting Peace.
Lasting Peace. Migratory nerdy fact of the video. The oldest rose currently planted in the rose garden is the Grand Duchess Armstrong rose, planted in 1943 by the Grand Duchess herself. The International Rose Test Garden is free to visit, with roses typically blooming from May through October. It's generally open from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily and gets very busy later in the day during peak bloom time, so it's recommended to go early. There are public restrooms available at the Rose Garden next to the Rose Garden store. There are multiple stairs and things in the Rose Garden, but we have seen lots of ramps and accessible options. A word of caution: if you're sensitive to smells, avoid the Rose Garden store. It's overwhelming. Our next stop was the Portland Japanese Garden, which is located right next to the International Rose Test Garden. This Japanese garden is proclaimed to be the most authentic and beautiful Japanese garden outside of Japan. To enter the Japanese garden, there is a walkway winding that goes up to the entrance. It's about 0.15 miles, and it does have some elevation gain. If you do not want to or cannot do that walk, there is a complimentary shuttle that will take you to the top. As we enter through the Nezu Gate, we can explore the 5 original gardens, each capturing a different period of Japanese history and culture. While the styles vary, the desired effect is a sense of peace, tranquility, and a deep personal connection to nature. The Japanese garden is open from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. with the last entry at 5:30 p.m. There is a fee to visit. When we went, it was $22.50 per adult, and you have to buy a ticket with a specific window of timed entry. From a mobility accessibility standpoint, you could take the shuttle up to the top of the hill to avoid that walking. And they did have an accessibilities pathway map, and there are some paved, smooth level paths and a few unpaved, like cobblestone gravel paths, but there are quite a few steep, narrow, unsteady, uneven surfaces, so you wouldn't be able to fully enjoy all of the Japanese garden aspects if you had limited mobility. We did share a few snacks from the Umami Cafe. I would say this lends itself more to a lighter snack option than it would be a traditional full meal. Coincidentally, one of the days we were exploring Washington Park was the opening day of the brand new redone reservoir that's there. This building is public restrooms located next to the reservoir and the Holocaust Memorial. The Oregon Holocaust Memorial was dedicated in August of 2004. The square contains scattered bronzes of shoes, glasses, and other objects to represent the everyday objects that were left behind. A European-style cobblestone walkway with inlaid granite bars simulates railroad tracks leading to the walls of the history panel. These are giant stone placards that offer a brief history of the Holocaust and quotes from Holocaust survivors. Buried beneath this panel are interred soil and ash from the 6 concentration camps of the Holocaust. Our final stop of exploring Washington Park on this visit was the Discovery Museum for the World Forestry Center. This is located in the same area where the zoo is and where the public transit stop is. The mission of the World Forestry Center is to create and inspire champions of sustainable forestry. There is a small fee to enter this museum. When we went, it was $8 per adult. The first floor of the museum focuses on the many roles that forests play in our lives, where you can view the forest as a habitat, a place for recreation or reflection, a place to gather critical resources, and more. Much of the second floor takes a global perspective, exploring how people around the world connect to and depend on their local forests. There are also exhibits that explore critical forest issues and how we can work together to tackle them. The special rotating exhibit while we were there was Sasquatch Ancestral Guardians, which features works made by Indigenous artists and honors generations of spiritual practices, storytelling, and tradition. The Indigenous peoples have long been in relationship with and shared stories about sacred forest protectors, often referred to as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. All right. So what was your favorite part of the things we did in Washington Park?
The rose garden.
The Rose Garden?
Yes. I feel like we scratched the surface of the rose garden.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't even do the whole thing. But it was all split up into like categories of rose. So there was a
Fragrant?
fragrant.
Fragrant is the word we're looking for.
And then there were like micro minis that were like this big.
Tiny.
And then there were giant ones, but I don't know if that was
on purpose or that, yeah.
Designation of them.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting.
And they change some out, like every year they plant different varieties to test. So I highly recommend picking up one of these free maps. It helped. And researching how to take public transit there.
Yeah.
Because we went 2 different days, and the first day, and as I was looking at things, it didn't connect to me that we could take the transit to the zoo in Washington Park, and then Washington Park had a free shuttle. So by day 2, we knew that, and that's how we got back to our hotel after. But day 1, we took an Uber, because when I was looking at things, I couldn't quite figure it out. But it's definitely connected to public transit. I think my favorite thing was the Japanese garden.
Yeah.
Because it was so peaceful.
It was very relaxing.
And maybe that isn't always the case, because I guess it depends on the other people visiting with you. But I feel like it was like zen. And like there were times we just found a bench, and it's designed that way, right? Like
it's on purpose.
There are benches everywhere, right? You go
Yeah.
and find a quiet spot, and we just sat for,
and even the walkways that are not accessible.
Yes, which I talked about.
There's a lot of like steep stone walkways. It's on purpose that you are supposed to be in the moment. You're supposed to be thinking about what is around you. So it was very nice.
Yeah, it was quiet and peaceful, and just like I could have just sat for a long time and enjoyed. And we scratched the surface of Washington Park also. Like we spent a solid 2 days there and didn't get, oh, bless you, Crosby. And didn't see and do everything. Like the zoo is there.
Yeah.
There's an archery range there. Like there's so many different
There's a lot of
things
stuff there.
to do that we could go back and do all things that we didn't do this time. So.
The Forestry Center was, I think, designed mostly for children.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive, so like I feel like we got our $8 per person worth.
It was beautiful inside.
Yes, it was very well done, but yes, it was very the opposite of Zen. It was very interactive, which meant it was loud and there were kids enjoying themselves, which is great, but it was definitely kid friendly if you were looking for something to do with your kids there. Anything else? All right. I'm Kirby.
I'm Dana.
And we are
Migratory Nerds.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified when all of our new videos drop. Bye.